All right, here we go. Welcome back to another episode of Explore Yarns with your mates. Now, I've run out of Larry, so we're on the Maccas this week. Now, my guest, you should be familiar with him by now. If you are not, then get over and watch the series. But we've got Wayno himself, Lane from Trackabout Campers. How you going, buddy?
Yeah, good, thanks, mate. Good to be here.
Absolutely. Cheers to good beers.
Yeah, cheers.
All right, so I guess we'll kick it off. I should probably clarify something from the start. So
Yeah.
I always
Should I have
call
a
you.
name tag
I
on or
always
something?
call you Wayne. So his name's Lane, and most people do know that. But the nickname Wayne has just come about over the last couple of years on the episodes, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Of
I had to spend $2,500 on number plates just so people get it right. So.
But mate, I guess for for those of you who do know you that have seen you on the series. Maybe for those who are newer to the channel, maybe just a quick rundown on who you are and what you do, mate.
Mate, my name's Lane, obviously. So Trackabout is our family business. And yeah, through that I've sort of just branched off and just sort of the public figure for it, I guess, or the face of the company. I actually run the workshop, so I don't really do too much of the marketing side of things. So
you do run a fair bit of the social, but
I do, yeah. So on Instagram just naturally because that's what I do. But yeah, like sort of R&D stuff, testing the products out, as you know. Sort of we do that pretty heavily on the series.
Test them,
so,
that's it.
Yeah, but background, mate, I'm actually a Sparky.
Okay.
So gave that up and just got involved in the family business. And we've been campers forever. That's what I remember doing as a kid. Sort of grew up, no sports, who you probably know because I don't climb trees too well. So I'm not a sporty one, but mate, throw me in a camper and a four-wheel drive. That's my happy place.
Well, we'll probably touch base on you personally a little bit later. Some of the questions that have been coming through on Instagram, because at the end we always ask you guys some Instagram questions. Obviously, there's been a lot of questions about the 80, the infamous 80. So we'll get on to the 80 a little bit later. But I thought
it's my favourite topic.
Yeah, I know it is. We can talk forever on the 80. But I thought to kick it off, we'd probably just try and get into a little bit more of the history of Trackabout Campers and try and find out a little bit more about the brand itself. So sort of how long has Trackabout Campers been around?
Actually, our 22nd year this year. So we've been around for, a long time. We're one of the first sort of off-road campers. I guess there's a few that were around from the 70s. And sort of just evolved from them. But the folks have it was our 8th anniversary yesterday since they took over the business. So yeah, they've been involved for a long time. The old man used to sort of manufacture components for the previous owner, and we actually had like 6 or 7 of them as a kid in the backyard. Right. I'd look out and there'd be like 6 or 7 Trackabouts, and so they hired them out, sent them up the Cape, and that was like a massive R&D stage for them. And then the time came to take over the business, and they sort of stepped up and evolved it to what it is now. They were sort of a basic tent box trailer sort of thing, built to go anywhere, but just changed it, the ducted heating, the nice kitchens, the things we're known for now. Righto.
So your family has owned it for about 8 years now, is that right?
That's right. Yep.
And how long have you been working there?
I have been there about 5 now, mate. So sort of took everything I knew from the electrical side of things, and in the workshop, rather than just sort of running the workshop, I'm pretty hands-on. I'm with the boys, we're building them. Got my my toolbox, I'm running around wiring up all the trailers, so it's something I enjoy, which is so I can take that trade with me into sort of what I do every day. All
right, so run us through a bit of the company structure. So not only is it fully Australian owned and Australian manufacturing, but then when you say family-owned business, mum and dad are still there, and then yourself and your brother are there as well?
Yeah, so Rob and Kim, who are the folks, they're you don't see much of them, to be honest. Like, Kim's sort of running the business. She's got the hard job, I'd say. She's sort of keeping everyone in line, what we're like. And then, so the old man, he's super hands-on still. So he actually... The size of our business, where actually people come in, they're like, oh, you guys are quite a small family business, because there's only sort of 10 or 12 of us in total that work there. And the old man still details every trailer by hand. He QCs everything. So I guess we're sort of like boutique in that sense. We don't pump out trailer after trailer. We can sort of tweak it, and that's sort of that personal connection with each trailer. So that's the old man's job. Dave and his fiance, so even getting more family. They travel Australia with the truck when they're allowed to, without these restrictions. But, they drive around Australia and they do all the camping shows, so they get to sort of exhibit the trailer. And then, I'm in the workshop.
So for everyone that goes to all the national 4B shows and national camping shows, it's Dave and Laura that you'll be going and saying.
That's right, mate. Yeah, and they're the ones that are super switched on with the product. They know sort of everything about it. And
well, essentially they just about live in it.
Pretty much, mate. They do actually. They have a good gig. So they cruise. You know, they'll go Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, and camp in the trailer in between stops. So
and I see they just bought a new truck now.
They did, mate. Yeah, so we can take 2 campers everywhere we go. Yep. So that's pretty cool. And they get to camp in it, which is a bonus.
So I guess what you don't have 15,000 different variations. You guys obviously know what works and know what works extremely well. So what are the how many core products would you have, I guess?
So basically we've got, the 2 trailers. We've got the Explorer, which if you watch the series, that's what I love. That trailer was actually designed for me and my partner Jackie. So we want something small, compact, something we can sort of stand up, get dressed, be comfortable in. So that was sort of designed with that in mind. So you sort of aimed at the younger generation, but what we've found is the oldies love it. I don't know, it's just a small trailer. They can hook it up behind their Subaru and cruise around. And then for the families, we've got the extender. So it's essentially the similar sort of layout, just bigger, more family-based, more storage, more floor space, that sort of stuff. So that's what we focus on, and we've sort of evolved them over the years pretty heavily.
So a pretty diverse product in as far as age group goes, and you guys sell from 20-year-olds to bloody 80-year-olds.
Yeah, mate, we've got customers out in their 70s, 80s, and they're still cruising around, which is awesome to see. So
I was actually out on one of our Northern Territory trips. We were coming out of a place called Boggy Hole there, and we ran into a Trackabout owner.
Yeah, right.
He was actually bogged. They didn't have too much experience, but they just bought something to get out there, and that was pretty funny. I didn't realise until we were leaving, we was following it out, and I'm like, it's a bloody trackie.
Talking to me on the radio and wondering why you're not getting an answer.
Yeah, that's it. So no, that's cool. Well, you've got, I guess, obviously it is such a diverse audience, but who specifically could use a Trackabout?
Mate, that's sort of how we build the range, is we try and sort of accommodate everyone from the young couples to the oldies and families. So we've sort of made it so that you just go, I like this trailer, but I want this, and this, and you can sort of just chop and change. And that's the beauty of the smaller businesses. We can sort of set that time aside and actually build the camper for them.
Sweet. So you've got the 2 core products, essentially, the Explorer and the Extender. So the bigger trailer and the smaller trailer. And then within that, you can just modify your accessories and how
definitely. Yeah. So if you're chasing the creature comforts, get the ducted heating. If you've got a massive family, we've got bigger tents and smaller tents. We can add attachments for RV, Oz tents, all that sort of stuff. So
you
can sort of fine tune them, which is a bit different to what everyone does, I guess, in the industry. They're sort of like, this is our trailer, this is the best, this is how it should be. But we're we love what we do and we love our campers, but without our campers and our customers using them, sort of we're nothing. So to them, they're the ones that sort of design it with us, I guess.
Yeah, sweet. And I guess I've been it'd probably be 5 years ago now. I think I came and seen you guys at
the Brizzy show. Yeah, we weren't drinking one of these, that's for sure. It was a pretty average beer, that one.
No, it was probably a bloody 4X or something like that. But I guess I've had a weird fascination with camper trailers and caravans, and I think it's because of my old man, to be honest. So I since we were growing up, I used to go to the National 4x4 show every year. There was photos that I just posted the other day, 8 years ago, with me and bloody Ruthie.
You know what that made me do? That made me jump on Facebook and delete all my old photos.
That's probably a pretty smart option.
Yeah, I thought so.
Well, the old, that's obviously I had the passion as a kid growing up, and then I went to all the shows, and my old man was talking about buying a camper trailer for years. Yep. And then, so when he says he's going to buy something, you probably get one within 5 to 6 years.
Yeah, mate. He's
he's
pretty
quick.
Standard, isn't it?
Yeah. So he's and he picked one up. It was pretty cheap. I can't remember the bloody brand. But anyway, that's what started me looking at camper trailers at every show, and it was probably about 9 years ago now. He goes, I'm going to get a caravan. Righto. So
he is going a bit grey, isn't he?
Yeah. So I was thinking, all right, sweet, he might get one in about 5 or 6 years. But anyway, we're about 9 years on now, and for the last 9 years, I've just been looking at caravans and hybrids and different camper trailers throughout.
Yeah, mate. It's a bit of a jump start because most people, they sort of get their dual cab ute or their single cab ute. And it's swags and tents for years, but I think that's changed a lot lately. People are setting themselves up better than ever.
Especially in the younger demographic.
Yeah, man, those guys are killing it. Hey, like some of the cars you see they're getting built, you're like,
yeah, dude,
it's insane.
Brand new 70 series Land Cruisers like decked out to the nines with P plates.
With a red P plate. You're like, oh yeah, that'd be nice.
Mine was like dinged up Triton that I had to respray bonnets on.
That's it, mate.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess that's where my fascination behind camper trailers and bits and pieces come from. So, I've been through just about, I would say I've been through nearly every camper trailer there is on the market. I'd have to have come close. All the ones that go to the shows anyway.
Yeah, the big names.
And so, what I was looking for the old man, because essentially whatever he got, I wanted to steal and use. And so, that's when I sort of started really looking into them all at the shows back in the day. And when I come across you guys, once I actually watched the product be set up and packed away, there's a couple of main reasons that I was obsessed with it when I first seen it, and then that's obviously why I approached you guys to say once Explore was a thing, I come and seen you guys.
That was early days, man. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, we sort of had an Instagram page and a little bit of a well, I always wanted to have a show, have a series, so I guess really a lot of the other shows tow trailers or have trailers, and I didn't specifically want to tow a trailer all the time, but some trips I really do love having a trailer with me. And when I was looking at all the trailers, because I do a lot of touring and I'm moving fast, I want something that's going to set up really quick. And I want to be able to take my toys with me.
For sure.
And that's what drew me towards yours. There was a few other flashier ones on the market that looked cool. But as soon as I worked out that I can throw a tinny on the top of your trailer.
Not many small campers you can do that with. So. Not many campers at all, actually. So.
So I think that's a couple of my favourite features is one, what's a full setup time from go to woe, pulling up.
We say it's 3 minutes, but by the time you grab your beers out of the fridge, got the camp chairs, and you're actually sitting down, it's 5 minutes. It's super quick. So
5 minute setup, and if you've watched the series enough, Lane has to set that thing up and down every single day. So you want something that is quick. And I think, whether you're set up for a week or you want to be set up for a day, that's the versatility that your trailer offers.
Well, before I met you, all my trips were I'd go to Stratty in 2 weeks, Christmas time. That was me, sit down and, gee, dude, you do some miles, hey? You're just 6 a.m, going up, it's time to go, brekkie, let's roll. And it's just quickly packing up. So that's been a huge evolution for actually me as a camper. And I think that's sort of rubbed off on the product too. So sort of made those little tweaks to make things quicker and easier. So.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, that's one thing that people don't probably understand sometimes, why are you towing the trailers around? And it actually is R&D.
Yeah, for sure.
And you don't really get a better way to test a trailer than to be dragging it around in every different condition. And because we've been doing this for a couple of years now, we've done
a lot,
just most places other than WA, we've given a red hot nudge.
Yeah, for sure. And most of the tracks are not somewhere you should take a trailer.
No, not specifically. But if you've seen the last episode or the 2 episodes ago, we actually, first time ever, tipped her over.
Something. Yeah, I was pretty happy with that. So, me and you both had feelings of something's got to flip this trip, and
it's Glasshouse.
Yeah, things flip at Glasshouse, and I'm just so happy it was the camper.
I'm kind of happy it was the camper too, because we don't want the 80 on the side.
Imagine a car going. No.
We've been in some gnarly spots where we've almost gone over.
Yep.
But I weirdly had that feeling too. We're going to flip something at Glasshouse, and
we've had it too easy for too long.
I mean, last year, we pretty much didn't get any rain.
No,
we didn't have, other than me catching my car on fire, which we rectified pretty bloody. Well, thanks for that.
That's all right, mate. Hey, I put it out too. So
yeah, fair enough. We'll call it. We're not calling it.
No, close enough though. You heard it even.
Yeah. But so we did that. We didn't have too many major fails. We didn't have too much rain.
Timing belt
was a pretty big failure, I guess. That was a trip stop. That was a bad trip.
That was a bad terrible trip. Yeah, man.
Timing belt. So the 80 didn't get there.
No.
Then it went behind my car, and then the car caught fire.
Yep.
Which was a bit of bad luck, broken zip ties. If you want to know more about what happened as far as the fire incident, jump over to YouTube. There's a video, we capture it.
That was full on.
And then what else happened on that trip? Well,
I had to sit with Simon.
That's
tragic.
That's tough. That's probably the worst outcome out of all of them.
It was pretty rubbish. So there's no room for people in that car. Hey, it was just full.
Well, we had good old Saimundi, and then Lorella had no bloody water.
No.
So
they told us it was running.
Oh yeah, it was everything was pumping.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, green moss.
Yeah.
But no, look, anyway, and then this year we've kicked it off.
Yep.
First trip, pouring rain.
When was that? I can't. Oh, 5 Rocks. Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Torrential rain.
That was nuts. Hey, like I've never seen a beach flood. Like it was 100 mil of water.
Which was cool.
Yeah.
It was actually raining so hard that it made it like.
It was just you're like whatever. Yeah, you just walked in the rain.
It was like a different experience because it was so torrential that it actually made everything really cool. Like you said, flooded beaches, which you don't see very often. Yeah. Spearfishing. It was the only way you could get away
from it. Hey, we're wet. Go spearfishing. Yeah, so that was cool.
So and then last episode, Glasshouse, pouring bloody rain.
Yeah. That's the last place you want to be in the rain too.
Yeah.
Like.
It was kind of lucky that we were more or less passing through Glasshouse and not doing a lot of the side tracks.
Yeah, because there's some crazy tracks. Like I used to go up there as a kid, or not as a kid, young teenager, and flog the Hilux. But yeah, some of those places now, hey, like all these guys running 37s just chewed to pieces. Yeah.
Well, and then so pouring rain again, and then we had the trailer flip. But all in all, we got out of it. Well,
it was pretty easy.
For everyone who hasn't seen the app, trailer completely on its side, and there was not a scratch on it.
No. We pushed it back over by hand.
That's another really important thing that we probably didn't touch about is weight.
Yep.
So an Explorer straight out of the box. Let's just talk fully spec'd to save any arguments. But fully spec'd without the tinning on top, you're sitting at roughly what weight?
Probably like 1250, I'd say, kilos. So but then it's rated to 2 tons, so there's heaps of room. But that's everything, with like all the airbag suspension, the ducted heating, like everything inside the camper.
That's fully tilted.
Yeah.
That's stereos, everything.
Yeah, the whole lot. Yeah.
And how many litres of water did you fit under them?
So that one's I've got the new one built, but that one's got 85.
Yeah.
But you can fit the second tank. I just never have.
Yeah.
Plus, your extra jerry cans and all that. So
jerry cans, gas bottle holders. All right. So to sum up the product for anyone that hasn't seen Trackabout, you've essentially got the ultimate touring trailer, really. If you want a tour or if you want it for the family, you can modify it, change it however you want. But the main features for me is you can take not only your tinny, you can fit all the push bikes on top as well.
Yeah, outboard, which you need.
Outboard, which is that's the biggest draw card for me.
And we haven't used them enough. Like I think up until Stratty, we didn't really use the boats that much until,
not a lot.
Until we realised.
Where was the one trip that you decided to back it down?
Oh, here we go.
What trip was that?
That was Bundy.
Bundy.
Yeah.
We did use a little bit of Bundy, but that was a long time ago now.
That was, yeah. Still not clean.
No, that was pretty wild. So let's talk about the new trailer.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Oh, that's killing me, hey. It's all finished, all built, lockdown.
Can't use it.
No, can't. It was meant to be at the Brisbane show. Cruise Master, who do all like the running gear underneath.
Yeah.
That's like their first brand new freestyle that's actually sort of available to anyone.
Yeah, okay.
I've got like the pre-production prototype.
Yep.
It's just sitting in a factory. It's right. So it sucks, but it's got to do what you got to do.
Because I guess one of the questions on Instagram, and we'll jump the gun while we're talking about it, but the trailer that's on the episode, has it been the one trailer the whole time?
No. So that one's been around for a long time. I think Cape York was the last. So we did whatever we did from the start to Cape York was sort of the Safari, which was like the predecessor to that.
Yep.
The ladder to get into bed.
Yep.
And then from Cape York up until now, we've been running the same trailer. So with no really repairs, like it gets serviced and greased and that, but
we say this pretty often. It's actually the only thing that's never broken on a trip. We've broken every car.
Considering we both drive Toyotas, that's
well, we've had a few dramas there, but all right. So what are the main differences on the new trailer? It's still the Explorer.
Yep.
But there's a couple of new upgrades.
So that Explorer we built for the episode was actually the prototype. So that was the very first one we ever built.
Yeah.
So there's been like heaps of little tweaks, sort of just to make it more comfortable and easier to set up. And cool little canvas features like somewhere that hang your towels. So if you don't have all the walls on, everything stays nice and dry. And then the airbags is sort of the main key change,
upgrade.
which is sick.
And so this will be the new R&D trailer to make sure that all the airbag system works correctly. And
yeah, for sure.
Obviously, it's something that has been out in the market, but this is a new system from Cruisemaster, right?
It is, yeah. So this, like, we're doing airbag trailers, but we're still running the sort of the Cruisemaster XT Air, which is like, it's not the previous model, but it's just what they're still running.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do the R&D on this one, and then that'll get released on our build. So
yeah, sweet. Yeah. So for anyone that doesn't really know what we're talking about, when we say airbags on a trailer, maybe just clarify that.
So basically, we run independent swing arms by Cruisemaster. So you've seen how they perform. It just takes, like, I can flog my car up a hill, and even, or a good example, when that trailer rolled over, I looked in my mirror, I was like, I've lost the kayaks, and I turned around, I was like, oh no, that's a lot worse than losing kayaks. So like, I didn't even feel it drop or slide. So between that and the hitch, you know, the good quality running gear is really essential. But yeah, what they do is basically remove the coil and they put a full airbag in. So it's great for sort of, you know, you can adjust your trailer height when you set up. Some of the campsites we pull into are tiny, like on camera, it's like, oh mate, this looks great, but like, the effort we take to squeeze into some of those, especially with like how big all our cars are.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can pretty much set up anywhere now, which is great because I got the airbags in the camper, I got the airbags in the cruiser too. So it just, you know, all tilts and levels out nicely for me.
So you can basically rock up, and if the ground's slightly uneven, you can dump some pressure out of one side and have a nice level bed and level kitchen for. Yeah,
and that's the main thing.
Without having to chock up wheels and mucking around.
For sure, yeah, you don't want to be doing that.
Oh, well, happy days. So I guess where did is it something your parents always had, was passion for off-road and camping?
Man, they were nuts. Hey, so like, I'm the youngest child. My sister, she's the eldest. She's nothing to do with the business. She's a school teacher. But they headed off around Australia, and I think my sister was 3 weeks old when they hit Cape York.
Yeah, right.
A short wheelbase Land Cruiser with a trailer behind it and a dog. Yeah. And my sister, of course. But so that was it. They did a lap around Australia, and sort of they've seen every corner of Australia, and the sort of, I guess that's what gave them the passion for what they do now, which is cool. So they're not sort of, they've lived and breathed it for a long time. Like, my old man, I've never seen him drive anything but a four-wheel drive.
Yeah, right.
So he's
So it's, I guess that's sort of where I was going with it. Is it something that you've always grown up with? And
for sure, yeah. Like my memories of school and stuff, you know, Friday afternoon, Dad would pull in with the cruiser and the camper, and we'd all jump in and we'd, you know, disappear for the weekend. It was that was rad. That's how we grew up. So
that's pretty awesome. So it's a family passion that essentially now is a family business.
Yep, for sure, yeah.
And you can sort of see that, you know, with other companies out there that sell a product, and then there's companies like yourself that as soon as you knock off on a Friday, you're getting in that product and you're heading away and enjoying it.
Yeah, man, that's what I love about it. So you can be passionate about what you do as well.
Yeah, 100%. And you know what you're talking about when
I like to think so.
when people come up to you the show and go, oh, you know, where can you take this thing?
Yeah.
And you've got the bloody proof to show them where it can go. I don't think there's too many trailers that have gone down the old gunshot in Cape York.
That was a good one, hey?
that was a cracking little marketing bit. That
I like that.
What about I guess for anyone at home wondering, like, what do you think's probably next for Trackabout? Is there anything? Would you guys go down the hybrid caravan road, or?
I don't know. It doesn't suit how we camp. I guess, like, we're sort of, you know, with a hybrid, you straight away you lose your tinny and you're adding weight. So like, obviously we are a business at the end of the day, so we do need to listen to our customers and how they want to camp. But we're sort of finding a lot of guys are just going for that more simple, comfortable, I can take this anywhere and there's nowhere in Australia I'll have to leave this behind and pull out a swag. Yeah. So they're sort of comfortable everywhere they go. So I think that's a big plus for us. So
yeah, and I mean there's 1,000 different caravan mobs out there.
Exactly, mate. I walk to I don't do many of the shows anymore, but I walk in there and you just see the white roofs as far as you can see, and how do you tell the difference? So you'll be sticking in that off-road, I guess, heavy duty off-road. Heavy duty off-road, yeah. And that's how the business has always been. Like, the previous owner was a mad, like, four-wheel drive nutcase. He had comp trucks, all that sort of stuff. We're a little bit more touring based. Yeah. But did you ever go to the comps at Cruiser Park? You know, back in the day. So he used to tow a bright orange Trackabout behind him when he did the comps. Yeah, right. And so that was like sort of the big step for, you know, that you can take this trailer anywhere. So that's how they were built. Yeah, that's pretty bloody. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, I was trying to find some old photos. So what? I mean, I guess that you're essentially releasing your updated model, which is the one you're building at the moment. Yep. Any other future upgrades that you can talk about at the moment? There's just little things like we're always evolving the trailers, always sort of upgrading and stuff. But I think we're sort of trying to get a little bit into the accessory side of things as well. Like if you don't have a trailer, but you still, you want good power systems or even like accessories for the camper, I think we'll, because we really focus, like our core is trailers and we want to build those trailers really well. So that's sort of where we focus all our energy on. But we are sort of branching off into a few other little things, which will be exciting.
Yeah, happy days.
Yeah, mate.
All right, well, most of the questions that have come through on Instagram, obviously on the trip, you're either towing I suppose we should clarify for some people, you either tow a 200 or an 80.
Yeah.
Why do you drive the 200 sometimes?
Personal choice. I never understood a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
Until I played with this car a little bit too much and did all the engine conversions and stuff. So,
yeah. All right. Well, let's run through it. So, 80 series Land Cruiser.
Yep.
How long you had it?
I've had it about 5 or 6 years now.
Yep.
Yeah.
So where did it start from? And let's just run through the build process. I know it's been a long time, but let's run through the major mods that have happened over the years, and then at the end of it, I think we'll have to touch on the engine conversion.
Yeah, sweet. So I bought it. Actually, I was living overseas. Sort of between being an electrician, I became a skipper on yachts, and I just sort of cruised around for 2-3 years doing that over in the Med.
Yeah, right.
So that was wild fun. But then I miss camping. Hey, that was the thing. Like I was living on a yacht in Greece, looking at my phone, going, "Oh, my mates are at bloody Stratty. How good's that?" And
right.
So I had to get home, and I was looking at a V8 Cruiser Ute, and it was over in WA, and it had everything done to it. It was awesome, and someone was over there and they checked it out for me. It was a bit of a it was flogged. They even had like a YouTube channel, and the dude just lived this thing on the limiter. Like it just went, all sand dunes all the time. I was like, that's not me. So Dave, my brother, he actually found this 1HZ80 with 135,000 Ks on it in Sydney.
Yep.
He drove down and picked it up, man. It was like grandpa spec. It was, 1990 sort of stickers up the side, purple tint. To lift the tailgate up, you had to duck down to get below it. It was that low. I'm still running the original road tyres. So it was just a real tidy base for me. And 80s, man, I love them. Hey, like there's something, even just the car, they just look good. They don't look 25, 30 years old.
Yep.
They've got all the good, they're full coil. They're still comfortable inside. Well,
we were joking the other day that the 80 has, well, it's not a joke. It has far more luxuries in it than my bloody 79, brand new 79 does.
Ain't like I jumped in one before I did the engine conversion. I jumped in a 79 Ute and I was like, yep, this is me. Took it for a test drive. I was like, nah, this ain't me. Hey, I was like, why am I spending all this money to have what I have now?
Yep.
And then, they're an awesome car and they're a great platform. Like if I was to buy a new four-wheel drive, 70 would be for sure at the top of the list.
Yep.
But it's just all this other stuff you have to do to it. So
and you have to do it.
You do, yeah.
I'm in the middle of doing all these wild modifications.
And so I imagine like your rear end isn't Toyota anymore, is it? Like your rear axles, your suspension. Like
no, so this will probably come out before the 79 builds can start. So because of the coronavirus things, I've had to basically stop. So I have it went up to J Max, which we let release in the last video, and then it's had to basically be on pause because I can't fly anywhere to get back down to Melbourne.
Is the car down there, is it?
No, the car's up here still.
Yeah, right.
So we've been at J Max.
Yep.
And obviously I won't get into too much of it, but the J Max stuff's is happening and is actually happening this week.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah,
you gotta start saying bloody a lot, like you're all excited again from the
bloody
that video when you walked into Toyota.
I was a little bit excited.
Mate, yeah, just a little bit. Hey,
first brand new car.
It's a big thing. Hey, so
and I think because I spent so much time trying to figure out what to get to actually see it.
It's like the last 2 years you've just sort of been chewing off everyone's ear on the trip, talking about what you're going to do.
Yeah, 100%. But like you say, I think when you talk about buying a new four-wheel drive, 70's like not a new four-wheel drive, it's just a new platform, and then you have to turn it into a four-wheel drive.
You do, or a comfortable one. Like it's a four-wheel drive, and for what they're built for, working out on the farm, what else would you get?
Yeah, exactly.
But to turn it into a tourer, there's a lot of work involved. So where were we?
Back to the 80.
Back to the good 80, of course.
The luxurious 80, which is 20 years bloody older.
So we picked it up in Sydney. He drove it home. He's never been so embarrassed in his life. Bog stock 1HZ, no power. He finally got it home, threw me the keys. He's like, it's your problem now. So From then it was, the usual things, lift, tyres, ripped all the aluminium bar work off, decked it out with ARB, everything.
Yep.
And then just set up sort of the inside as a bit more touring. So.
Yep. Yeah, all nice rear drawers. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you actually have a really
compressors and stuff.
tidy
there's a bit of gear in there. So
built-in water. You got plumbed water at the back there?
Yeah, got a shower. So,
yeah, creature comforts.
Yeah, I love that. Like clamping.
and you had that basically, fully kitted out on the first series.
Yep.
And then you decided to get carried away.
Yeah, I overdid it. I'm pretty sure it was, but it must have been the end of Cape York.
Yeah.
I got home and I'm just like, this thing doesn't have enough power. Like it was running, it wasn't a huge amount of power, but it was running like 22-pound boost, had upgraded turbo, and like all the gear had been dyno tuned. So it was pretty good for what it was. Yeah. Just wasn't enough. So
well, I mean, mind you, we were driving. It's probably where you got the shits was going up the Krebs track.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was running out of puff all the time, but like I had the least powerful car, but also weighed like more than anyone. So
and you were also towing.
Yeah, so it was like, I need to keep up. I need to do better than this. So, yeah. So the motor came out. It must have been like, it was literally like straight after Cape York. We ripped the motor out in the day, and I was just like, I didn't even have a replacement motor. I don't even know what I was thinking. We just got back. I'm like, FTE was like always the dream. Multi-valve 80, twin locked. That's what I wanted. Yeah. And I just got ahead of myself, ripped the motor out, and I was like, oh shit. Now I got to do this. So got stuck into it.
So it did. I guess for anyone that might be thinking about doing the FTE conversion. Yeah. You had a few little hiccups along the way.
I did, mate. And it's all like the motor was fully rebuilt. Everything was pretty much, like ready to roll. But because it's an electronic injection or electronically sort of controlled injection, the wiring loom needs to be sort of meshed into what's in the 80 series. Yeah. And that was done a bit rough, I guess. Like there was little things, it was sort of, it just wasn't right. There were wires touching where they shouldn't have been touching. And, that's just, once you get electrical gremlins, it's just a nightmare and you can't find out what it is. And I started losing faith in the car, and that was like the hardest thing. You're like, you want to put your foot down and go somewhere. It's just like, is this thing going to do it? So
you want to be able to come on the trips and not have to drive the 200 grand past spec car.
Yeah, mate, that thing's built for highways. Hey, so.
Yeah, the old 200. I think with a bit of a lift and
like it's got lift and tires and like the Safari bar and stuff on it, but it's no 80. Yeah, nothing's ever in an 80, mate.
No, that's fair enough. I actually do like the 80. What about is it done?
Is it ever done?
No, not ever done.
I actually think it's pretty much done. Hey, like if I was to do anything else to it now, it'd just be stuff that doesn't need doing. So I guess I was getting to the point with the car, it was getting so much gear in it. Like you said, the rear drawer setup, it had everything, but I had all that in the camper too. So I was like, I was sort of doubling up a bit, and I think that's where I've sort of like slowed down and gone, I've got everything I need in the camper. I can leave, because you load your car up, you put all this stuff in, it becomes heavy and undrivable and stuff. So
you basically had a fully self-sufficient 80 weighing on the trip, plus you then taking a trailer that had everything again.
Yeah. So there was no point. So I've sort of slowed down on the 80. And
what about chopping it?
Oh, don't go there. That's the one thing that I would do. Like I love not dual cab, single cab 80s, mate. They are 80. So good looking, but like I'm on the fence. Hey, like I come out one day and I see the car there and I'm like, oh geez, wagons look good. And then I come out, I'm like, bloody wagons, man. What do I own a wagon for? So I don't have kids. I
think realistically, you probably wouldn't chop it unless there was a bit of a mishap.
Which we almost did in Tassie. So
if there was a mishap, you'd probably...
Oh, mate, the grinder would be out. I wouldn't even be home and I'd have the back cut off it for sure. Yeah, so, right. Yeah, that's the only thing that's sort of left on the list. And hopefully my girlfriend's not listening because she's sick of the bloody thing.
Yeah, I bet. Can we even go into costings on what the engine conversion cost? Does she know how much it really costs? Yeah. Just turn this off.
Is this camera on? Like, if I do that, let me think about this. Yes.
Right, perfect.
No, she's
so for anyone,
she knows it's what I love. So like I don't. That's my hobby. That's my escape. So for me, that's where my money goes, and it gets us cool places too. Like she was never a camper, or she's sort of hotel rooms and that growing up, and now she sort of understands, like, oh, you do all this because you go to those cool places, and I think that's a big thing.
So is it something you'd recommend to other people?
The engine conversion?
Yeah, the engine conversion.
Yeah, I love it. So once it's all sorted, like, just take your time and do it properly. Like, I think we were a bit under the pump too, you know, and like, I didn't get a chance to run it in. It was pretty sure. Well, you know, you'd call me up and say, oh, we're going on a trip. I'm like, oh, yeah, sweet. I'm just putting the turbo on now. So, like, I drove down all the way to Tassie and I didn't even bloody finish the turbo installation. It was running 40-pound boost the whole way. So it was stuff like that. Like, it's just take the time, but they're bulletproof motor. They're awesome. So, and like, I had the option of running, you know, like a 6BT or a 4BT, which a few mates have done. Yeah. But then, you know, you're chopping tail shafts and changing gearboxes and stuff. So when something breaks on the 80, it's, you know, go into a wreckers, it's a factory tail shaft, it's a factory gearbox, it's all that sort of stuff. So that keeps it pretty important to me. Exactly. Like,
reliability.
Yeah, for sure. Like, Toyota's well known for that. And like, when I go forward driving, I'm not an idiot that'll just, you know, climb anything for the sake of it. I'll climb it if that's the track. So like, I'm a bit more touring, I guess. So that's what it's set up for. So
which is where I think, you know, Trackabout fits well into the Explore life is, you know, obviously that touring aspect, and we'll do as hard a hill as we have to if it's getting to the destination, but we don't go out there just to climb a hill for the sake of it.
Every time I've done that, I've broken something, so I'm a bit over it.
Even Glassy, like, we didn't go to Glassy just to drive hard tracks. We did it as a dirt road to get to another destination.
And it's a place worth checking out for sure. Like, I've been to Glassy for 4 or 5 years, and it was cool to get back there. So, and like, Glassy in the rain, it was cool.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, we haven't done a muddy episode in so long.
I'm trying to think when the last real muddy one would have been.
Don't
remember.
No, it's good.
Avoid the mud like the plague.
That's it.
Well, I don't know where the next trip's going to be. At the moment, it's bloody all going on, and obviously we're creating a heap of other side content, which is where the podcast has been born from, which is kind of cool. We've had the first one drop already. So for anyone watching, this is now on Spotify. If you're watching on YouTube, you can jump over to Spotify and listen to it in the car when you're driving to and from work. And
I think that's cool because, like, in the episodes we're out doing stuff, and like, if you want to know about the person or what they're doing or how they got into it, because like, we're just normal people that just, like, we're lucky enough to do this as a thing. And like, we're both tradies, we both just love four-wheel driving, so it's cool that you can actually do this as a thing.
100%. All right, well, we got what we call our top 5 bangers that we're going to ask everyone. So we'll get stuck into them before we roll into some Instagram questions. But I guess we've probably already bloody answered this one, but what is your dream car setup? And now we're talking setups, and we've already answered this one anyway, but ultimate setup, car and trailer combination, I'm going to ask everyone now.
Yeah, right.
So I think it's pretty obvious.
That goes without saying. Mate, I love 40 series cruisers, like Troopies. So if anything ever did happen to the 80 and I didn't chop it, I reckon a 40 series Troopy cab on it. With the auto, you know, with the new gearbox, the new running gear, everything, I think that'd be sick.
That'd be pretty sick.
I'm so over swinging spanners though, so it's probably never going to happen. But we've got a few mates that'll help out.
But that would be the dream car, eh? 40 series.
40 series Troopy.
Troopy on an 80 series chassis. Dragging a Trackabout.
Hands down,
That's pretty bloody cool setup, as quietly. Maybe I'll build one.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, what is your favourite campsite?
That's a hard one, hey? We've done some cool spots. That night at Lorella, where we sort of stayed, you know, in the swags, we took the tinnies up the creek. That was rad. Like, that was
something completely different.
I thought we were going super remote, and I got phone reception there. Hey, like,
that was so weird.
It was just like for an hour at midnight or something. It was just maybe a satellite went over or something. It was just ding, 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 ding. I was like, oh yeah, that's weird. But that was up there. But I think for me, West Coast of Tassie. Remember, I think it was just before we did that huge backtrack to the Pieman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that campsite there, I think that was sick. You know, you're looking out. There's a little fishing village there. It's just it's full wild West Coast. Oh,
before we did the backtrack?
Yeah.
So we pulled up. So. It was like
we sort of just like camped in a little triangle. And had a little fire going and stuff. So.
Yeah, and it's very doom and gloomy on that West Coast.
Yeah, man.
Grey.
So, big waves crashing against this shore.
It was pretty
Yeah,
that
felt
cool
remote. I just really like that.
Yeah, so obviously for you, it's that remoteness.
For sure.
Your favourite campsite's not going to be Noosa Caravan Park.
No, it's actually DI.
yeah. Just DI on Australia Day. I only go once a year.
That's more than enough.
Yeah, that's...
I just like going where other people sort of can't get to as much, I guess.
That was the cool feeling about Lorella was like, obviously there's been other people that would have camped there at some point, but the only way to camp there is to drive, to get to Lorella, it's basically a day's drive from anywhere.
Yeah.
And then...
Was it 2 days to Isa and then, was it 2? 3?
To get to Isa?
Yeah.
Well, I think we did it in 2 days.
Yeah.
So you're 2 days from the nearest big town, major town.
Yep.
Then we're about 4 hours from the start of the property out to
where
the boat ramp.
Where we put the tinnies in.
Yeah. And then because we had so much shit in the tinnies, we couldn't get on the plane.
That sucked.
We thought we were going to run out of juice.
And the shallow water and everything like that. That was a nightmare.
Yeah, had to have someone navigating the whole way. Yeah. Bloody 80, 90 centimetre queenies underneath the boat.
Couldn't catch them. We are terrible fishermen.
Didn't help I threw my rod in the water. And then, we basically, it was probably 2 hours in the tinny, I reckon, at least. To camp right out on the coast of, what do you call that? The Gulf of Carpentaria.
Yep. Pretty happy we didn't go through the bar though with sort of everything that's happened with tinnies and surf lately.
Of all places. And it was lucky we're low on fuel because I would have gone.
I know you would have gone. Yeah, I was actually draining the fuel out into the jerry can before we left.
We don't have enough fuel.
I don't have life insurance for this will work.
I've got this weird obsession that I guess it's where the name Explore come from. Like I always like to know what's around.
Does that look like a one-way track down there? Yeah, like, Lane, come down. Oh, mate, you're going to have to reverse it 2 days. So,
I'm probably not the best bloke to go camping with when you're towing a trailer.
No, I've just learnt to stop.
Wait.
Yeah, and mate's like, come down, it's sick. You're like, cool.
Yeah, I tend to, I can't help myself. If I see a side track, I want to know what's down there. And then we drive 2 hours in the boat and all I wanted to do was just get to the point. We get to the point and I'm like, I wonder what's out there.
We can probably go further, couldn't we? How's Papua New Guinea looking?
Yeah. Oh, it was pretty cool. We actually went back to that, not that creek, but we went back to Lorella Beach.
Yeah, right.
And so if this is Lorella Beach and this is where we camped, out on the coast, we went about halfway and we went up into the next creek system. Yeah. Once again was like I followed a local crabber.
Was that little hole you ended up with?
The honey hole. Just ridiculous amounts of fish. It was ridiculous. I've never seen. It was no bigger than this room, what do you want to call it? Like a 5 by like a shipping container hole.
Yeah, right.
And we had 2 tinnies, 3 people in each tinnies, 3 girls. There was more lures in trees than there was in the water. But just every cast.
Were you sitting there sulking because you didn't have a rod, or did you get
I bought a new one.
Right.
After I lost the last one. But I mean that's I like those sort of campsites too, where it's a pain in the ass to get to. For sure, it's a challenge and
it's untouched then, isn't it? Like that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, which is this day and age there's not too many destinations where you can go that not too many people have been.
No.
All right, well, that's your favourite campsite. What about a bucket list campsite? So is there a place that we still haven't got to or you still haven't got to that you want to go?
Pretty much. This might be a bit big to call one campsite, but WA. Just like anywhere over there, man. We got so many customers over there and they just send us photos and updates. And
you do have a big customer base in WA.
Yeah, it's huge. Like considering what's like physically couldn't get further from like headquarters. We send a lot of trailers over there, which is cool. So, yeah.
Well, it's on the bloody to-do list.
Yeah, I was just bloody super excited. So.
Well, this year we were supposed to be going from Adelaide, driving down, doing and essentially following the coast all the way around to Perth.
Yeah, finish at the show. That would have been sick.
Finish up at show, and we were going to you were going to have the trackie with a tinny, and I was going to drag a toy hauler with like a Can-Am or something in the dunes, and then I would have had a tinny as well. So who knows what's going to happen with these shows?
Well, they booked that show back in the Perth show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're talking about it again, which is good.
Perth might be
in the right direction.
That's November.
It is, yeah.
Well,
be away from my birthday.
Hopefully,
don't forget.
All right. When is it?
You'll forget. 6 November, mate.
6 November.
You know this.
That's the show weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, I love working on show on my birthday.
Well, I think if they let us out again, depending on what all these other shows are doing, it's either going to go one or two ways. I think there's going to be like no shows, because no big crowds, or there'll be too many, and everyone will try and have a national 4x4 or big 4x show in the last 2 months. So
which is probably what it's looking
I'd be
like.
I wouldn't be upset if they did a Perth one and we had to go and do like a big ass trip before
wouldn't it?
That'd be pretty bad,
If they all lined up, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne,
just keep
Adelaide,
going.
Perth. Cool.
We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
But look, I've done a little bit on the west coast, like tiny amounts. I made it almost to Broome, and then I've done the Gib. Yeah. So that's WA. Yeah. And then I've quickly run through like Esperance and Albany at the bottom. Yeah. And like Esperance is like your postcard type setup. So we'll put that on the. I think what we're going to actually have to do, because so far, is next year we might just have to take the setups over to WA.
Just leave
them there, and we'll start driving. Yeah. And then we'll do 2 weeks filming, fly home.
Essentially, we're like FIFO workers.
That's FIFO good. Exploring. How good's that? I think that's the only way to do it. Other than do a proper trip around Australia where you have the time. Yeah. We can't just nick over to bloody WA to knock out 2 episodes. So we might have to stay tuned.
I'll just put my leave in now and see what happens.
Yeah. Sorry, Kim. We'll be on the road for 6 months.
You don't need me, do you?
Nah. So that's our bucket list campsite. Your favourite modification, which probably going to be the FTE, I imagine.
To be, yeah. It's just it's good. That with the auto gearboxes. Yeah, I love it. Just put your foot down. Don't worry.
Way you go.
Yep.
All right, and then what's your favourite camping accessory? Get creative. Like, what's the one thing that you cannot head camping without?
Easy. My Burnzo torch. The plumber's torch.
Oh, yes.
I love that thing. Not enough people have it. Map gas, yeah. Map gas. So, keep it in the drawers, pull it out. Doesn't matter where you are. It's raining. Fire.
Fair enough. So, for those who don't know what a map gas is...
It's probably in the car now, actually. I'm going to run and grab it.
Yeah, grab it. Essentially, it's a gas canister with a nozzle on the top that just gives you bloody flame.
Burns bloody hot too, so...
To pull up at camp when, like Lane's saying, it's rainy or it's wet, you can always get a fire going.
Yeah, man, I love that thing.
Yeah, so. I bloody need to get mine out of the shed.
You probably shiver if you touch yours.
Well, now
your plumbing days.
Yeah, that's it. I'll now I'm building a 79. I'll actually have a bit of room.
Probably have proper space just for it.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's why I'm building a 79. Small things like that. Yeah. Like, you're always like, that's cool. And then I've got one, and I've got it in a nice box that would be perfect. But, like, I don't have room for shit like that.
The amount of stuff you squeeze into that thing.
Yeah, it's tight. Even, like, one thing you do a fair bit of is, like, decent camp oven cooking. Yeah. And that's... I don't even really have a decent spot for a camp oven in the truck, right, so... Yeah.
Mine's empty. I don't know if you've ever looked at the videos. My car is so empty. Hey, it's
just all in the trailer.
Yeah, nothing moving around. I love it.
It is cool. Like, that is what I like about it. And obviously, I've pinched the trackie on a fair few trips now. And you just load the camper up and away you go. And then it's a spot when you get home that everything just stays in it.
Yeah, like if I go camping, I'll just take like a fresh pair of sheets and I'll just change the sheets and on the last day pack her up and
done.
Home she goes, and
all the gear stays in. All you got to do is throw fuel and beer in it. And not fuel, food. Yeah, don't have to put fuel in the trackie.
A bit of diesel sometimes.
Oh yeah, a bit of diesel for the fancy hot water and heating systems. We're sitting there freezing our tits off, camping and.
Oh, you didn't see that last episode when you were in the shower? I was raiding your beer fridge.
Oh really?
That's why I let you have a shower, because I was out of beers.
Well, there you go. Yeah, cheeky bugger.
Yeah, no, that's pretty smart. I thought.
Yeah, not bad. I'll get over to these Instagram questions, pull these up. Most of the questions I had a look earlier are all around the FTE, but we will see what I've got here. So,
it's cool that it's got, like, I know so many people appreciate the old car. I think that's cool. Like, a lot of work goes into maintaining an old car, especially, like, before I started doing this, nothing ever broke on it. It was sweet. And then now, we're actually using it. There's 25-year-old bushes and, like, suspension parts and that. Things are wearing out.
And it is very clean, considering where it's been.
Yeah, I know.
I said this is a bloody good question. So, let me read this right. JJR Lance, best advice for towing off-road?
Don't forget your trailer brakes. I've got the Red Arc Tow Pro, and I use that so much. If something's stepping out where it shouldn't be, just
crank them up.
Yeah, and use your mirrors there. I don't know if you've whenever I got the GoPro on me and I see myself talking on the radio, I'm never looking straight ahead. So it's always keep an eye on it. Except for last episode,
Yeah. I think you just got a little bit excited. Just wanted to throw a bit of right boot to get out of it.
Yeah, got way too comfortable. I was like, oh, yeah, you guys are driven through. This is nothing. Straight out.
And one thing that you can't really see on the camera very well is where your right wheel dropped down into. When the other boys did, they went slightly to the left.
It's because I think I cut the corner a bit and actually, the trailer.
There's actually, because that's what I drove through first, which wasn't on camera.
Yeah.
And it's a bloody hell of a hole there, and you just nailed it.
I watched you do it, and I was like, oh, well.
Yeah.
Might have to give it
some. Yeah, the other boys made it look easy, and then over she went. Rhett_Darling, what lift, height, and tyre size are you running on the 80?
So I'm just running 33s.
Yeah.
And it's about a 3-inch lift, so give or take, because, the rear's sort of up and down a bit with the airbag. So.
Well, let's talk suspension on the 80. We kind of skipped over that.
Yeah. Actually, that's probably one of my favourite things. I love the rear airbag setup. I've never even thought about it as an off-road thing, and I never...
Yeah.
It surprised me, hey, I've never thought that airbags could be so good off-road, but the way they work is they got the bottom half is like a tube, and then the top half, it just rolls over it. So whereas a spring can only do so much, this thing just rolls over its own sleeve, and there's so much movement in it. So
so for people that don't understand, we've talked about airbags on a trailer, but you're running full air ride in the rear of the 80.
Coils completely out. No, so not like the helper inside. So the coils are gone, and it's like what you see on the back of a truck.
Yep.
And they're bulletproof, and they're
mate, it's something that Airbag Man have done well, and it's like you said, it's something you don't really think about doing. No. And now I think it's going to become I'm hoping to put that system in my 79.
Oh, dude, do it. Hey, you pull up, especially with you, rooftop tent. How many times have you had
slightly
to
unlevel,
tweak it and stuff? Yeah. So, and the way it works, you saw it on the Patrol, because it's front and rear airbag, and everything just moves around so nicely. So.
Well, I liked it that much that the GU camera car is going in to get it done.
Yeah, sick. That's
because
cool.
One, I wanted not R&D, but I want to test run it for an extended period of time. We do some of the hardest tracks around Australia.
That thing is behind the scenes, mate.
Yeah, cops are hiding. Cops are hiding. Considering not too many things are breaking on it, it's pretty wild. It deserves some love. Everyone's why are you doing mods to it? And it needs it. You don't understand. This thing was just bought for 10 grand, done nothing to it, and
what was the first trip we took that on? That was
Tasmania.
Yeah, right.
Tassie, first ever trip.
Tassie and then high country.
So we bought this thing for 10 grand. We did nothing to it.
Straight to Melbourne.
Straight to Tassie, and then back via the high country. It was a full 3-week trip.
It gets a workout.
So. So people are like, oh, what are you modding it for? I'm like, because the poor girl deserves.
Well, that's the thing.
Love.
It does. We do the tracks and we do all the hill climbs and stuff.
Yeah.
But so does that.
Yeah, it's the first one to do it too.
Exactly. Yeah, 9 times out of 10 it is. So,
yeah.
It needs the gear on it.
100%. And I think, after seeing how well the airbags went on their GU, and then. I'm sick of seeing you pull up to camp and just lower to get level, and for me to have that on my 79 with a rooftop tent, just be able to pull up and go.
And you'll go even fancier knowing you, because they got that little push button remote, horizon leveling stuff. So.
So unfortunately they don't have the capabilities to go full air ride in the 79s yet.
Yeah, okay.
You have to widen the front diff.
Oh, something else to do to a 79.
Yeah, don't worry.
That's surprising.
It's on the to-do list.
So you have to do a modification.
Yeah.
Good.
Perfect. That's how all mods should be, right?
Yeah, something
modify
like
something to put a modification in. But no, I think airbags, that's something that we'll definitely put on. We got a bit sidetracked there.
I think we were talking about tyre size and lift. So in short, 3-inch lifts, 33s.
Oh well, let's ask a quick question about that. Why do you run 33s and not the 35s?
This might surprise you after watching last episode. I have a lot of mechanical sympathy.
Yeah.
So even though I absolutely flog my car to get places, I don't know. For me, I just don't see the benefit. It's only 1 inch higher.
And with towing, you probably it'll drive nicer with 33s.
It does, and everything sort of feels a bit nicer. It's better on the boring stuff like fuel economy, but like your wheel bearings, they cop a hiding, like the dust and the water and the mud and everything. So I don't know, it's just a bit easier on them, I guess. So my old man's a bit like that.
Yep, bit mechanically minded.
Yeah, that's it. He's bloody done it to me.
Lockie.J94, when's the rig rundown happening?
Yeah, when's that happening?
That's a good question. And look, probably in the next 2 weeks we can film that.
Make it happen.
So we're going to get the Trackabout down. Stay tuned on YouTube. I'm going to have the brand new Explorer.
Yep.
And
I'm
going
looking
to
forward to that, hey?
Yeah, hell yeah. So I'm going to do a bit of a walk-through video on that. I might have to self-isolate and just go camping it for a night.
You'll be right. You'll be okay.
Yeah, I'll probably be suffice, yeah. As long as the fridge is full with your mates, I'll be laughing.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'll have a video coming up very shortly on their brand new Explorer. And then, we need to shoot a rig rundown on the 80s. So stay tuned for that. We'll probably shoot that in the next couple of weeks. And then that way, after you watch this vlog, you can go and have a better in-depth look at the 80, which would be pretty cool.
You see where half my life's disappeared into.
Joshua_Mosley, have you had any problems with the Trackabout campers? How did you fix them?
I think you should, you can answer that one.
We honestly, and a lot of one cool thing that I pride myself on our shows, we don't hide anything.
No.
If the car catches on fire, if I get bogged on the side of the road,
that happens.
if whatever, you snap a diff housing in half, we don't hide anything on the show.
We're not. I guess I think the massive appeal for us as well, doing the show, was it's original, it's legit. There's nothing. It's not scripted. It's not made up. So
no, it's shot chronologically. We don't.
Yeah, we're a couple of mates out
shoots.
camping, and then what we've got are the tools that we use to go camping. I think that's sort of why it's doing so well, I guess. And there's so many people getting behind it, which is cool to see.
Quite relatable.
Exactly. We're just people doing it. It's not, buy this, do this. This is us. This is what we do.
Yeah, 100%. And now we're starting to get some pretty cool gear on our trucks. But when you use them as much as we do, it's...
Oh, they're necessary things.
100%. So honestly, mate, I can't recall us doing a single thing, not even fixing a mud flap. We haven't...
Blew a tyre out.
We did.
Territory. That was hot too.
We did. We blew a tyre out.
I'm a big stickler for when you get off the hard stuff, pump your tyres up, and that was, I think, I was in Simon's car, so I didn't really have too much control of it.
And it's something we're pretty bad at.
You're very bad at that. I'm glad you see that. So
yeah.
Come on, mate, let's bloody pump the tyres up.
No, I'm like, mate, there's a servo 300k away. We'll be fine.
Yeah, we're only doing 120 the whole way. So. And it just got so hot. I've never seen a tyre do that. I jumped out. I came and saw you because all my tools were in the 80.
Yeah.
We grabbed some tools off you. I jacked it up and I reached behind it and I burnt my arm on the rubber. That's how hot the tyre got. So.
Well, it was hot as hell out there anyway.
Yeah, it was. It was a hot day, hot dirt road, and
wrong tyre pressure.
Yeah, blew up.
There you go. Make sure
pump your tyres up.
You're pumping your tyres up
because they're not cheap.
We've covered this 80 versus 70 series, which is better.
Oh.
Well, unless you want to see a punch on, we'll skip this. But no, I think out of the box, 80. Look, it's a more capable.
Yeah, they were built for different
driving.
things, weren't they? So
yeah.
The 70 by nature was commercial.
Yeah.
And the 80s and 100s and all that were touring days.
Coil all around, comfy as hell.
Yeah.
They're a cracking car.
You heard it here first. I'm going to remember that.
At least I'm not, I don't play the whole Nissan Toyota battle or 70s better than 80. I just tell it how it is.
Yeah.
80s are a nicer truck out of the box than the 70.
Thanks, mate.
What year did you get your first full drive, Mr. Lukey _101 _15?
I've never owned anything but full drives. So my first car, we were talking about this. We were sort of mind blown by it, but my first car was a 03 turbo diesel dual cab Hilux.
Yeah.
And that was maybe 07, 08.
Yeah.
But I washed cars for 10 years straight to
just
save
to
up
get
money
it.
for it. Yeah. So, and that was cool. I loved the dual cabs, and turbo diesel was sick. So
that's what I always wanted for my first car.
They just looked
dual
good,
cab Hilux, and I didn't have the money, so I ended up with a dual cab Triton.
Yeah, there's plenty of blokes who know like that.
Really do.
And then I had a Datsun Nissan Patrol.
Oh, how's this one? Oh, well, I was wondering. I'm like, who the hell's asking this? I won't tell you who's asking it yet. But do you love your 80 or your girlfriend more?
Is that Jackie?
Yeah, that's Jackie, yeah.
Oh, Jesus, I'm really in a pickle here. Look, babe, I love you.
Careful now.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. How do I do this?
It'd be rough driving the 80 without any balls.
Yeah. It's got to be her, mate.
Good on you, Jackie. And then we'll finish it off on last one. Why an FTE over an FT?
Couple of reasons. So availability of parts.
Yeah.
So they're basically the same block, same motor and everything. The FT was only out for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Whereas the FTE, they've ran from like pretty much 10 years, I think. So,
yeah, right.
Yeah, that was the main thing. Plus the electronic side. Like a lot of blokes, they buy the FTEs and, you know, run them back to sort of FT specs. So you put on different pump and injectors and that. But you just lose so much power. You lose everything that's good in that motor.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You probably feel I'm a bit addicted to these motors. Like I love them. So the FTE was that's as soon as I learned
for reliability. The fact I didn't know too much about them.
Yeah.
And to say that one was only out for a couple of years and the other one's been out for 10 years.
Yeah, you can pick up parts.
You know you're gonna have parts.
Yeah, they were in the 79s. They're in the hundreds. Like you can get parts when you need them. So that's probably the main reason I'd say. So.
All right, happy days. Well, firstly, thanks for coming in, mate. Definitely appreciate it.
It's a bit different. Normally when I'm talking to you with my beer in my hand, really like mud or dust or sand or dirt.
Yeah, it's weird being in a studio. It's a weird feel. So once again, guys, if you are enjoying these, make sure you let us know in the comments. If there's anything else that you want to ask Lane that I didn't cover, make sure you chuck that in the comments as well. If you did enjoy it, chuck it a thumbs up. But to follow Lane, there's two ways you can do it. Jump over to the Trackabout Campers. They've got a YouTube series. If you want to see more on their trailers, you can see some of the models up on YouTube. Instagram and Facebook, Trackabout Campers.
Yep.
And then for a bit more in-depth look at the 80, what was your Instagram page?
_exploring 80.
Okay, there you go.
Thought of that myself.
Yeah, the Exploring 80. Yeah, love it. So you can go check him out there. And then, of course, you can see him on all the latest the Explore Life series. Yep. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks again, bud.
No, it was awesome. I'd shake your hand, but...
Yeah, no, we won't do that. Maybe we'll just cheers it to see it out.
Maybe the bottoms.
Yeah, there you go. All right, we'll see you next time on Explore Yarns. Cheers, guys.